Hello, quilters and chatters. Hello, quilters and chatters. It is so good to see you on this extremely hot Memorial Day Sunday. So hello, everybody. Hopefully I'm on and you'll be able to find me in just a moment. I am getting prepared to show you a few things. And let me get a few things ready. Okay. All right. Hello, Susan. You are our first person on. Michelle, it's so good to see you, sweetie. It is so good. It was so nice last week, Michelle, when you were able to echo my problems with my frame. Thank you. Thank you. Because you know how much I've tried. So, Susan, hello. Now, so what are y'all up to? I hope you're staying nice and cool. It's going to be 92 or 93 today in May. Yes, I tell you the truth. I'm going to see in a minute. Mark right now is on top of the motorhome. He decided this weekend was time to get the motorhome in shape because it gets really dirty and algae full over the winter. So he's unfortunately doing, oh, Michelle, it's 92 there too? Ooh. So hello, Diane57. Did you get your package this week, sweetie? I'm hoping she did. I am hoping. And then, Susan, I had your question. Oh, it's Kathleen Ziegler here. Hi, sweetie. I was going to ask you, Susan, do you take Quilt Maker magazine? Do you get that in the mail? So how is everybody? Michelle's hot in Rhode Island, and Bonnie's here. Bonnie, how is your... Oh, thank you. I thought you would like that picture. Yes, he had that picture made on his 2-month birthday. I'm going to show y'all something. Let me see. I'm going to show you something because it's one of the reasons I love this fella. He is a hard worker. Whoops. Let me see if you can see him out the window. Whoops. I'm not sure you can. Let me see. I'm showing you out the window. And Mark is on top of the RV scrubbing it in 90, 92 degree temperatures. So he'll probably go, now why did you have to show him? But I think that's pretty amazing. And he had his physical this week, and he aced his physical. I mean, he did so good. So could you by any way see him? In shorts, you did see him, okay. Oh my God, yeah, he has got this special cleaner out there. We noticed there were a couple leaks inside from the winter, and we had a branch fall on the roof during the hurricane in September, and it punctured it, and he thought he had gotten a good seal put on it, but he thinks it may be leaking just a little. So, let me see. Somebody wants to be here and talk with us. Do you see who has invited herself? Oh my goodness. But yeah, he did really good in his physical. Let me get her. Good girl. So Kiwi decided to come say hello today. Didn't she get, now you notice there's no blue wings on her? That's a story I've got to tell you about. It's a good story. It went well. But Kiwi, can you do uppy downy, uppy downy. Do uppy downy, uppy downy. Can you do it? Are you too tired from your big adventure? Uppy downy, uppy downy. Good girl. That's her new trick. So uppy downy, uppy. Can you give me a kiss? Can you give me a kiss? Give me a kiss. Hey, Kiwi, give me a kiss. No, she says no. I only do one trick at a time. So here is Kiwi. So you notice there's no blue wings. She had been starting to fly, and it got me worried. Plus, it meant I had a hard time keeping her on her playpen, which she just manages to get off anyway because she's so smart. And so anyway, I watched a YouTube video, really good YouTube video that was done by a veterinarian. And she showed us on a parakeet, a budgery parakeet. And so I told Mark, I said, would you like to watch it? He watched it too. And then I said, let's trim her wings. Because, it's just too hard to find a place to take her in. And are they open on Sunday or not? I said, we can do this. He watched the video and he said, I tell you what, Deb, let me get that layup back out of the way. He said, I tell you what, Deb, I will clip them if you hold her. He was nervous about holding her. I had to wrap her in a towel. Birds don't have diaphragms, so you can't compress. You can't hold them firmly or tightly because then they can't breathe. So I had to put her in a towel, like this, say this is her head, and just make a ring around the towel at her neck level, very loose ring, and then hold her little feet. The vet said, make sure you hold the feet so they don't get cut off along with the feathers. I don't want to know what happened to cause that. So anyway, I held her in the towel and held her feet. And he knew exactly where to clip the feathers. We checked them to make sure there were no blood feathers. And because when their feathers are coming in and growing, there's a quite active vein in the shaft of the feather. And if you cut their feather, it won't stop bleeding on its own. You have to then pull the entire shaft out. We didn't want to go through all that. And so we carefully watched the video, and he carefully counted the feathers. And the vet did such a good job of showing it and explaining it that we managed. She wants to get on the computer because she thinks that I'm talking to the computer. But you want to do uppy downy, uppy downy. You want to do it? Huh? You want to do uppy downy? You want to? I'm trying to teach her how to dance too, which is uppy downy but sideways. So anyway, all right, that's enough about the bird. Let me see. Come here. I'm going to try to put her back up on her playpen, but she just wants to be with me, but I'd like to be able to have her stay on the playpen. Oh, you did tell me, didn't you, Diane? I tell you what, it really helped seeing an actual wing clipping being done on YouTube. Thank goodness for YouTube. I mean, so many people now have done so much to help. So, but I was going to tell anybody, and I'm sure Diane will back me up on this, make sure if you're going to do something like this, try to find an expert on YouTube to teach you, because I saw other just bird owners and they didn't seem to understand the full ramifications. She had styptic with her in case she hit a blood feather, but the vet said it's not going to stop bleeding just by putting styptic on it. You have to extract the entire feather. So, there's a big difference. So just make sure if you do something that can impact the health of a human being, do your full research. Don't just look at the first tutorial video that comes up. So Jamie's Crafty World, is she here? We've missed you, Jamie. I was thinking I'm going to have to find her email address and say, Jamie, where have you been? Did we say anything that bothered you? Because I promise we'll apologize, because we missed Jamie. Look at all these people. Akko is here. Oh, Akko, so good to see you. How's your pup doing, Akko? So, oh, you got some plants to plant, Susan. They will feed your soul. Let me tell you why. This year, I have planted hundreds of plants. I first said, I'm not in the mood this year. And we went and got some. And then I went back and got more. And yesterday, I think I pretty much finished up on just about all of them. And I tell you what, I feel good after working out there. It's been good for my energy level. It has been good for my psyche. So good for you for putting some pretty plants. I have found I'm doing more and more container planting. And I just was finding it was too hard to put them in the ground. We have a good amount of clay soil. And then the insects and the animals were eating them. So, frustrating. So, let's say. Oh, I'm so glad you got, Diane. You got your package. That's wonderful. Okay. All right. Let me see. Oh, there's Nadine. There she is. So we're trying to get things caught up around here. Memorial Day is the weekend you're supposed to fertilize the lawn, and I'm not going to remind him of that while he's on top of the RV. You know what I mean? I think I'll choose my time wisely. But it's like, especially with it getting so hot, we realize we better get some of this stuff done. Because before you know it, it is going to be too hot to be outside. I mean, once you turn 60, it's like you have to choose your projects wisely. All right, let's see. Oh, it's so good to see everybody. I'm catching up. Don't just give me a moment. I'm catching up on what you said. Your internet is giving you trouble. I'm sorry, Nadine. Goodness. Sonia's here. Sonia, hi, sweetie. Next Saturday, I'm hoping, is the next Jenny Buyer clue. I don't know about you, but I'm awfully excited. So, but Jamie, it's so good to see you. We missed you. Oh, all right. I think I've caught up. Oh, Bonnie's growing chives and rosemary. Good job. Oh, now see, that's a good sign, Bonnie. They used to, in the colonial days, they said a wife is judged by her rosemary. If that's the truth, then I've killed every rosemary I've ever grown. I keep planting it every year, but it's in a pot and it dies over the winter. So, but it sounds like you've got good wife potential. So there you go, girlfriend. Also, rosemary is the herb of remembrance. And we had a coffin when I worked at the museum, St. Mary's City in Maryland, and there were 2 lead coffins, and they were so excited they had to move them, and they were so excited to examine them because the lead can seal, and they were hoping to find an airtight seal inside and compare the air from 1686 to current times. But unfortunately, something messed up. But when they opened one of the coffins, the woman was the wife of the governor, and she had a broken leg and lived with it for a long period of time. Instead of, they didn't have the medicine we have now. So instead of putting it back to let it heal like this, it was beside. And she had abscesses. She must have suffered terribly. That bird came off of the pen again. But anyway, she must have suffered terribly. But when she was buried so carefully, so sweetly, and her hands were together, and they had tucked rosemary with purple ribbons. And so she was buried. She was a much loved wife of the governor, mayor, whoever was in charge at that point. But we're talking 1686. So Oh my gosh, Patricia, that's cool. Patricia, I started the costuming shop, the actual making of most of the costume pieces on site back in 1988 and worked there for 7, 8 years. And then finally had double pneumonia and said, I can't keep doing that hard work. And where is that bird? She's on her way back up. Oh, there she is. Hi, Kiwi. Come on. Step up. Since she can't fly, she jumps off of her playpen and then walks over here. But you're just a mess. You're a mess, huh? You say hi? Yeah. You say hi? You do uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy. So anyway, well, good for him. Hopefully he saw the dove, which is a reproduction of the supply ship that came over. And, look at all these herbs. Oh, that's neat. Isn't it nice to be able, like, I plant these herbs and I don't use them like I should. I buy the, McCormick's herbs. But I always think when I plant them, I'm going to dry them and have my own. But I do like going out at Thanksgiving and harvesting those herbs and putting them in my turkey. I feel like that's special. But I just like growing them. All right, let's see. Diana Wright is here. Hi, sweetie. I watched a really good video on timing the long arm, so I'm going to try it today. I meant to do it this morning, but I got busy. I started a pot of chili. Believe it or not, in this heat, I started a pot of chili in the crock pot because I just wanted to bake. I like to do one big recipe every Sunday and pop some away in the freezer, and we need new chili in the freezer. So let's see. Only one window. There you go. You know what? Good for you, Bonni. But I'm just finding as I age that container gardening is going to have to be my way. And then one day maybe I'll do raised beds. That would be really cool. But, back in my heyday, I would start a half an acre of vegetable gardens. I had 2 gardens. And I tell you, I was bad at harvesting them, though. I was terrible at that because once it gets too hot, I'm like, I'm not going out there. So, yeah, there you go, Diana. Right? That to me is wonderful. And that way, when Mark comes home, he likes to decide what to eat when he gets home from work. How does he feel? So if I've got all of these things in the freezer, I fill them in quart-sized containers. Ah, Pat's watching the bird. Come here, Miss Kiwi. Patrick was looking at you. Say hello, Kiwi. Say hello. You're shy. You don't know what to think of that. Oh, are you looking? Uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy. You want to do it? Huh? You want to do it? Oh, well, there she is, Patrick. Isn't that a pretty red tail? Michelle's sons are all like 6'4" to 6'7". I mean, big mountains of fellas there. So, and Michelle's not short, but I guess they got his height, because boy, are they tall. Hi, Patrick. It's good talking to you. Oh, she's cute. She's a mess. 5 rows of strawberries. Oh, that sounds lovely. And everybody give a shout out to Miss Susan Smith's husband, who got a really good, perfect report back from the heart doctor. So she doesn't have to worry about that now. Don't worry about that. Oh, Jamie, would you love strawberries? This is my time of year because I love strawberries. 7 rows of corn, sweet potatoes, Yukon Gold. Oh, man. Susan, you can tell them with me. Stop chewing on Bonnie's pen. She likes to chew on Bonnie's pen. But potatoes grown in a garden are amazing. Aren't potatoes grown in the garden good? Oh my gosh, they're so good. So I think, did we catch up on everything? I love cucumbers. I don't eat that many, but if I have a salad, I love cucumbers. So yum, yum, yum. I don't like pickles, though. Deborah Donnell is here. Hi, sweetie. We've missed you, too. Although I think you've been here most of the time. But it's so good to talk to you. I'm trying so hard to make sure I touch base with every one of you because you all mean so much to me. So, yeah, the ticks. Oh, speaking of ticks, be careful, people. My daughter has been having some problems, a lot of achiness, tiredness, just not feeling well. And her doctor had tested her for inflammation. Her inflammation levels were way up. She's wondering, what the heck is wrong with me? It was Lyme disease. So she's on 1 month of antibiotics. Now, I told you she works for the state of Maryland in soil conservation. And so she has to be out in the field a lot. And she has all of her animals outside at home. So the medicine, the antibiotic they wanted to put her on, they couldn't because it makes you extremely sensitive to sunlight. So she's on amoxicillin, like the child's version of medicine. And she's going to have to be on for at least a month. And anytime they said that she gets a tick on her, they will give her some more antibiotic. So if you start feeling bad, her joints, her hands, her fingers, all her joints were aching really badly. But if you notice things like that, have them check you for Lyme disease. So what are you doing? So anyway, she definitely wants to be the star of today's show, doesn't she? So anyway, let's see. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh. Now, do you have property where you could have guinea hens? They're the best at hunting ticks. Guinea hens, chickens. I think it really helps keep down on the ticks. But, well, you know, too, I did put some tomato plants in about a month ago, and they're huge. I'm so excited. But I don't know if I have to grow them in a pot on the hot driveway because it's the only place I get anywhere close to 6 hours of sun. But let me tell you what, if you ever want good tomatoes, go to Italy. I think it's the volcanic soil, but they're the best tomatoes in the whole world. Totally different from the stuff we get here. So, well, you tell your husband to keep being checked because, boy, Lyme disease is nothing to play around with. No way. All right. So I've got a few things to show you. My bird was doing the splits. I bought the comic boards. You've heard of these? People buy them to store comic books and keep them in perfect condition. And the nice thing is they're archival. They don't have the acids that'll leach out and hurt the fabrics. Plus, you can get about 100 of them. And these are called the mini boards. But I thought they would be the perfect size for me to store in these buckets right here. And my thought is, instead of just having all this stuff piled up on shelves willy-nilly, is I'm going to fold them around a comic board, stick them in a bucket based on color or the type of fabric, genre of the fabric. And so I got these. I got them from Connecting Threads, 100 boards for $7.99. That's the cheapest price I have found. And the only thing is I checked Connecting Threads this morning because they're having a sale right now. They're 20% off, normally $9.99. And they said they're out of stock. So everybody's been buying them. But you can put them on a notify me list. The sale is good through June 10th. I don't know if they'll honor the sale price once they come in. If they come in after June 10th, I don't know. I'm just telling you that I looked on Amazon and Connecting Threads was cheaper. So I just wanted to show you how I took 4 types of fabric one of them quite big, and folded them on the boards. And I'm hoping to, this way I can just kind of go through like this to see what fabric I want. And I thought it would be a whole lot easier than just having piles and piles of rudely folded fabric, you know. And I don't know. I think this is going to go in the scrap bin, but it's just a matter of taking your fabric, deciding. I wanted my fabric to end up being about this size, so I had to figure it out. I did it right here on my ironing board, because that way, if the fabric had creases or was messy, I could then just press it around the board, and that's how I ended up with this. And I think this is a lot nicer. I thought about using just cardboard because, especially with our Chewy orders, I end up with tons of cardboard, but I do know that has so much acid in it. I worried if I leave it sit too long, and I'm in the basement, and if it's damp, I didn't want to take a chance. So I just wanted to show you, I just started, and I have a lot to do. Another cute thing I was going to show you. Now, I say cute, that's relative. These have been on the vehicles for 6 years at least. And what I do is, in the state of North Carolina, we only have to have the real license plate on the back of the car. The front of the car, you can put whatever kind of license plate that's maybe not nasty or whatever. But this is the one I had on the front of the motorhome. And since he was going to wash it, I said, can you take that off? And this says, I quilt, therefore I am. And my motorhome is a silver, a taupe, and a coffee color. So this was those colors, and you can see how much it's faded. So I told Mark I wanted to get these back in and redo them. And I might have to, I was trying to decide if I could reuse those letters, but I think I might have to get some more letters. But then, so I had that one, and I went and picked out fabric to do. I like the flying geese. I might leave the flying geese on it. And then I had this on the front of my van. And this fabric, whoops, my van is a dark green or dark teal. I think kind of a dark, like a forest green. And I had this as the fabric that used to be on here. So as you can see, it's done a little bit fading. So I'm thinking I might put the same fabric back on. And if I can't say, this just says I love quilting or I heart quilting. If I can't reuse, they're so faded, I might just paint it. And I'm going to try a slightly different sealant. I used Mod Podge for this, and every time it rained, it would get kind of filmy, kind of milky looking. But I love doing that. And I'll use Mod Podge to apply the fabric to the license plate, get it nice and smooth, and let it dry. And let me show you the back so you can kind of see how I do it. So the white, see how I just fold it over? Just do a nice pleat. And the main thing is do thin layers of Mod Podge, one after the other, letting them dry well in between. Same thing with the front. I'm going to use a can spray acrylic, hoping that, because, you know, Mod Podge kind of dries gummy a little bit, slightly gummy. So I'm going to try an acrylic. But I love those license plates, and it identifies who and what I am, which is a nutty quilter. So, what is the white circle of doom? Oh, no. I need to check this out. Uh-oh. Okay, gotcha. Oh, I'm sorry it's buffering like that. That's frustrating. Oh, there you go. I like Deborah. I like what you're doing, hon. I like what you're doing. I tell you what, I was hoping that the postage would be cheaper if I made the package as small as possible. And so, Diane, when I was figuring out yours and Bonnie's packages to mail, I was cranking them down. Got there and she said, no, it's by weight. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. And it's going to weigh the same whether you crunch it down or whether you leave it bigger. But that's cute. That is cute. Oh, good job, Susan. And bird, do not chew. Anyway, I'm sorry you're having such a hard time, Nadine. Goodness gracious. Oh, and Shellbear's here. Hi, sweetie. We got a big group on here today. I'm thrilled. They have a waterproof formula now. Okay, Diane 57. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, honey, I can't wait for you to try your wool mat. I told you that my Katie got me this one. And I'm really happy with it. Really, really happy. You know, I was so skeptical. I usually am. I'm like, okay, these manufacturers, they want you constantly spending money. I don't know. I've got to see. I've got to check it out first. So I bought this small one. And darn it, if they weren't right. When I heard Jenny Beyer say it was good, that carried weight. Then I thought, okay, I have to try it. So, but they are wonderful. I think, let us know what you think, Michelle. Michelle is a very meticulous quilter. Oh, she puts me to shame, girlfriends. I mean, everything is perfect, or she quietly takes it out and does it again. I mean, she's something. So if she likes it, you'll know. Oh, good job. Have fun in the mountains, sweetie. Okay, good. Diane 57, thank you for the tips. I will go check that out. Oh, good. Susan's got her block about done. That's wonderful. I'm excited about us getting those done. If anybody on here hasn't heard, we're all doing a house block. We're putting together a quilt for somebody as a surprise. And so we're going to be sending your house blocks to Diana Wright, and just email me at ourtimetoquilt@twc.com, and I'll make sure that you get her address. And if you belong to our group, then you can do it in through there. And anybody who would like our group to join our Yahoo group, please do. I want y'all to know, too, I have been sending the last few people who have asked for an invitation, I have sent them to them, bunches and bunches. Oh, yes, Nadine's block got to Texas. So I'm sorry. I don't know what to do, but I hope they'll stay in touch with me and let me know again. But what are you doing, Kiwi? So, all right. So now, let me see. Oh, yes. So I want to show you Bonnie's latest package of stuff. I got a pink flamingo seat cushion. Now, I'm just going to assume it was for me because I'm the pink flamingo nut, because I've already been sitting on it. So you might not want it because it's been flattened a little by me. In fact, put it right back under where it belongs. But isn't that nice? I've got a pink flamingo seat cushion, and it feels good. So, and then I'm hoping I can keep this one too. She sent a pink flamingo ink pen. How cool is that? With a charm on it. Isn't that great? And I tell you what, that's pretty special. I'm going to keep that charm. Well, if I can have it, Miss Bonnie, please. But I'm thinking, ooh, that charm is great enough that I might want to put it on my best pair of scissors so everybody gets to see it. So then look at this gorgeous Madeira embroidery thread. Isn't that cool? And it comes right out of the bottom of the package, so you don't have to open it up or get it messed up. And I'm just, it is 22 yards, and it is gorgeous. So that will go in the pack if I don't take it myself. And then she sent me some more. I love the I'll make some beads for my daughter-in-law since they're musicians. And I love blue delft. Love blue delft. So thank you. I'm keeping that for my bead making. And I happen to think of a couple Texas gals that might really like this. Look at this. Isn't that wonderful? So I got 2 of these totes with now what are they called? Longhorn. I just love those. Good Southwest. Then I've got a quilt maker magazine that I'll pass along. Then add a quarter ruler. And this is the nice 12-inch one. This is the big one. Thank you, Miss Bonni. And then I'm going to have to ask Miss Bonni, because I don't remember. What are these Missouri Star tissue papers for? What do you do with those? If someone can tell me. I got these in the thing, and of course we love Missouri Star, but I wasn't sure what these were for. Anybody know? So there's a mess of these. For paper piecing. Oh, quilting. Oh, and quilting and tracing quilt designs. That's wonderful. And then, ladies, we're going to have a good contest, because look at this burlap tote. Look at this nice wide with a zipper and handles, and cushion handles and a zipper. Is this a great tote or what? Look at that. So, probably towards the end of June, we're going to have, in fact, end of June, we're going to have a big prize contest. Does that sound good? Yes, paper piecing, trace quilting. Gotcha. So I'm excited. All right. I love to always show you that I prepared the night before. So, and I like to check it off of so anyway, I told you how happy I was. I got hundreds of plants in the ground. And I you know what I use, and I want to tell any of y'all, I can't go outside much when it gets really hot. I don't do well in heat, and I have asthma. And so when it gets hot and steamy, it gets real humid here, I can't handle it. So I get these little crystal things that they're polymer beads you put in the pot with the plant, and they absorb water. And so they cut your watering time down bunches. But be careful you don't put too much in a pot. Last year I got carried away with them, and I'd come out and my plant would be over like this, popped out of the pot, and I'd look, and all those teeny little white crystals had turned into big fat beads. Pushed the plant right out. But and the bag of those lasts quite a while, so it's a good thing. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I have to plant early, and then I'll stay inside, look out the window, and go, oh, did you see that? But anyway, at least I get the good exercise of planting. Because let me tell you, I'm going to tell you this right now. Gardening is some of the best exercise going. All the bending and the twisting and movement, and keeps you limber and improves your spirit. So I'm a big believer in it. You notice who's helping me now work on, I'm reading off of this list of things to do. So I showed Bonnie's latest package and told you about Kiwi's wings and got the plants on the ground. I showed you the fabric on the boards and told you about connecting threads. So, before we start our first project, we're going to finish the Inktense project. Before I talk to you about that, next Friday, I'm going to be busy next Sunday. I've got an event and I'm going to be busy. So my thought was that we will do a Friday night live stream instead of a Sunday. I'm going to miss y'all on Sunday, but I want to make sure that we do a live stream. So, I was thinking, what time is good on a Friday? Think of Eastern time. I know this is going to be bad for Miss Nadine because it'll be too late in the night for her. But what time is good, you guys? Well, what she did is Miss Kiwi backed up and did a doopy on this desk. Luckily, they always back up before they doopy. Picture them on a nest. They back up to doopy over the edge. Quite thoughtful of them. And so I always know when she's getting ready to do it and I can clean it up. But anyway. Oh, that's cute. I'm tickled your daughter likes it. Come here. I wish you would do a trick. Hey, do uppy downy, uppy downy. Come on, do it. Uppy downy, please do it for them. They're waiting to watch you. Uppy downy, uppy downy, uppy downy. Hey, no, you're not going to do it? Do uppy downy. Huh? She's like, no, because you want me to do it. She started doing it when she wants to get my attention for anything. But anyway. Oh, thank you. I guess you would call this a light coral. And I think this shirt might have been from Romans. I love when I get sale things for clothes. But I got this year for Easter. I thought that looked kind of Eastery. So thank you, sweetheart. Okay. Busy Pat is on. Yay, Busy Pat. I'm so glad to see her. I'm so glad to see her. So anyway, now we'll go back to talking about our Inktense tutorial, okay? And then after that, after the Inktense tutorial, we didn't decide what time, 7 Eastern? Okay, 7 o'clock Eastern, Friday night, we will do it. We will meet here. And for people like Nadine, who it'll be in the middle of the night, then I tell you what, you'll have to watch it the next day, but know that we'll be thinking of you and sending good thoughts your way. So I was talking about doing Inktense. Oh, sweetie, take care, honey. I'm so sorry. It's too frustrating when your internet acts up. We love you, Miss Nadine. Take care, hon. Take care. Oh, my pen came from Miss Bonni. And I have noticed it goes with almost everything I wear. It just blends perfectly with my wardrobe. So, bye, Miss Nadine. So anyway, I wanted to do a thing on Inktense. And so I went on the computer. I went to copyright-free art. And I found the cutest little chameleon. And then I found a really sweet dolphin. But I didn't stop and think ahead, which I know not to do. I didn't stop and think that usually when you do Inktense, it's good to sew around the lines. It helps to keep the dye within the little area you want it to stay in. And I didn't realize that I would have to sew on all of the lines. I didn't even think of it when I was drawing on all those lines. So anyway, I've got my light box. In fact, I will show you, and I've got some good little things to show you here. And so let me move everything Get it closer. And in fact, if Susan gets any pictures of her Inktense, and she'll send me an email, I can go and show you hers too. So anybody, if you ever want to send me pictures to my email, and I'll show them on camera. If you just want me to see them and don't show them on camera, I will honor your wishes. So I've got a light box here. If you don't have a light box, don't go out and buy one. I got this for $10. I'm too cheap. So this is wonderful. Thank you to the woman. I'm trying to remember her name. Janet, I think, who sold it to me at the retreat. She had it on the yard sale table. So you can always go and tape your design, tape that onto the window, and then get painter's tape and tape your fabric on top of that on the window, and you'll be able to see just like this. So I'm going to use a dark ink pen to draw today because I want you to be able to see it. But I went on the copyright-free website, and I found this cute, I just typed in copy-free art floral. And Google took me to a whole bunch of sites with photos. And so you just take and just quickly draw it out. Okay? It's very, very easy. And you know, you don't necessarily have to draw exactly the leaf lines they do. You can do your own. And here's the center of the flower and a big petal. I love this because it's just cartoony, fun looking. I thought that was sweet. I'm almost done. Hold on, there's a reason. And it doesn't have to be perfect. You see, I'm doing it very fast. Once I remove it from here, nobody's going to say, well, you didn't exactly follow that line. Because this is yours. You use this as a good inspiration. You make it what you want. Okay, there we go. It took me that long. That's all the longer it took me to do this design. So now I'll turn this off, get it out of my way. I'm going to leave this here as my inspiration. That's gone. Now, when I did, here is my chameleon. Here's my chameleon from last week. What I did is I knew I wouldn't want it in a quilt, so I thought I'd make a cute little wall hanging. And I did this in no time. Well, I sat and watched TV and did the Inktense coloring. But I'm going to I've already cut out the fabric that I'm going to do the little binding in, and now it'll be ready to go on the wall. I did add my own leaf by freehand and a stem, and I got it done. And then this was white fabric. So this is just an Inktense wash, like you would do a watercolor wash. And I'll show you. I use the cubes, the little sticks of Inktense, and just wash the medium on them. And I showed you how they come with like a little paint pot in the container. One thing you always want to do, in fact, you can see where I made the blue paint in this little paint pot. But I would just put the medium on the brush. I rubbed it. It was this blue. I rubbed, and then brought it over to the little paint pot, added a little bit more medium, and then just washed the fabric with it. So it went from white to this blue, and I was able to make it darker at the bottom and lighter at the top. And along the top, you can even see I left little ideas of clouds. Okay? Now, and it's a little bit stiff because I did not use water. I used gel medium. This is textile medium. You can use aloe gel. You can use any kind of gel medium. And I bought this. I saw this recommended. And I got this 16, almost 17 ounce bottle. And you notice I keep it in a plastic bag. I keep it snug, tight lid and keep it in a plastic bag just because that's going to last me a long time. I don't want it to go bad or dry out. So now I just need to press this with a hot iron. And if you want to make sure that you don't get any of the medium or the color on your iron, you can use a thin piece of muslin for a pressing surface. You press over this with your hot iron, and then guess what? The colors are color fast. You can launder it. You can use it. Even now, the colors don't come off on you, but it's best to give it a good old press, and the heat sets the colors. So all I have to do is bind this, put it on the wall. What a fun summertime treat. You could hang it on your front door as a welcome little quilt. So now, last week Susan said, well, what I did with mine is I put, in fact, right here, I'm going to show you. Hold on a second. Okay, what I did with mine is I had some backing. And since this is just going to be a little silly thing, I just used, a scrap of fabric. I don't have to make it fancy. And you lay it pretty side down. So you're sitting here looking at, hold on just a second. You're looking at the backing. Then you lay your batting. And this is batting I've just zigzagged together because it scraps. Okay, you lay that there. Then you come in here and you lay this here. And then I have a container of large safety pins, and you would just start in the center. This is where I got cut off last time, so let's hope it doesn't get cut off. But you just start from the center and work out in every direction like a fan, like a sun rays. And you pin where you're not going to sew or color, at least at the moment. And then what I do is I take and quilt on it with my regular sewing machine. I quilt everywhere I've drawn a dark line. You don't have to do that. Like if you were going to take these blocks and put them in a quilt, you wouldn't pre-quilt them most likely. You would make the blocks, set the color, then do your sashing or whatever. So, but I thought I will just show you a little bit the process of Inktense and how very simple it is. All right. So I'm going to do the centers, and I'm going to do the centers, and you see, let me bring you a little closer. Hold on. I want you to be able to see. Oops. Whoops. Let me drop it down a little more. All right. Okay. I need a second camera. Maybe next year for Christmas, I'll try to get one. All right. Everybody can still hear me, hopefully. Okay. All right, so I've got this here just to kind of show me. So what you do, first, sharpen pencil. Hold on just a second. Let me get my pencil sharpener. I keep little inexpensive pencil sharpeners just about everywhere because I use them a lot. Okay, hold on just a second, guys. Mark is still up on that camper. All right, be careful when you sharpen because these are very soft. The ink that is the lead, so to speak, is very soft. And the wood that it's put in is very soft. So it takes very little to sharpen it. So I'm going to come in here, and I notice in this picture here, it goes from the dark to the very light to just show a little reflection. So I'm going to color it stronger. Hold on a second. I'm going to get you in here a little better. Hold on just a second, guys. I've just got the most up-to-date equipment here. All right, oops. Okay, bring it in. The bird got a little concerned and she's biting my ear. Don't bite my ear, darling. All right, so when I color this, I'm going to color it darker and harder around the outside, like this. And when I go into the center, I'm not even going to put any color. Right where the light streak right here is, I'm not even going to color on that at all. I'm going to leave it white. All right, so I color a little deeper, darker around the outside and just start lightening a few light strokes towards the center. Then I'm going to take what would look like a good slightly darker color, maybe this one, and I'm going to kind of come and outline it right around the outer edge. Okay, just a little bit up at the top because perspective means you really wouldn't see much of that. And then put a little bit more there. Now, since you're probably like me, and we hate to wait to see how something's going to come out, I'm going to go ahead and paint this, okay? I've got a cup of water. I don't use the water to paint it. I use that just to clean my brushes. The one thing you're going to want to do is clean your brushes often, because if you don't, your colors will get all mucky. So it's really important. All right. So now let me come get a brush. I'll get this brush right here. I've got this little container right here of that gel medium that I showed you before. So I'm going to open the jar. I'm going to dip the brush into the medium and then wipe it off. Now watch what I do here. Let me see if I can get you in a little closer too. Hold on a second, guys. I'll get you in as close as I can. When I put the gel medium on here, it will just come alive. And you'll say, whoa, I didn't see all that color before. All right, now one thing I've noticed, and I'm not going to put that in the jar because I don't want the color to run. There is too much color still in the middle. So I take a paper towel and I wipe a little bit of that off. But while it's still damp, I get my white Inktense pencil and put in that highlight. You see the highlight? So actually, now that I know that yellow is that strong, I could have even done the coloring just a little bit softer. All right, so now I'm going to do some petal work on this, okay? Now, one thing I'm going to do, and remember, I will go back and sew the lines in a bit. But since this is kind of cartoon-like and simple, I'm going to take a dark red. The tip here is the color. Take a dark red and outline this petal. And I'm going to put a few lines of creases just to make it look a little more real, okay? Then I'll come in here with a gentle, this is called fuchsia, and then I'm going to just lightly color. I mean, we all like to color. I lost part of my channel. I can't see what y'all are saying. Hold on a second, guys. What did I do with my mouse? Goodness, what did I do with my mouse? Huh. Oh, there it is. Let me, somehow my window shrunk. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Oh, did Bonni leave? Bye, Miss Bonni. See you soon. Okay, so I'm just going to pick back up my fuchsia and come lightly fill in the colors. Okay. And you see how I'm circling it? I'm kind of hoping to give a little movement to that. Now, I don't know if I've got this, and I take it out of my brush out of the water, do a simple dry off. Now I'm going to go back to that medium, and let's see what this is going to look like. When I put the medium on, out pops the color. And you notice I never work out of the medium bottle. I always put it in a smaller container because just doing what I'm doing can contaminate the medium. So then put this back in the water. I'll put it back in the water to rinse out. So anyway, as you can see, this is pretty simple to do. And if I wanted to add a highlight for this, then I could come in here with the white pencil, the white Inktense, and add on a highlight right there. So pretty much that's how simple it is. And if I wanted this more colorful, it just depends on how hard you push down or how heavy you lay the color in, but do listen, do not use water. Water makes the dyes run terribly. They'll seep all out and ruin the look. And it doesn't always happen right away. Sometimes, you think, oh, it's looking pretty good. And then you look back at it and water has seeped everywhere. So this time I'm going to add a little bit of purple. But it's just about how much paint you lay where. The brush strokes can be as heavy or as light as you want. And lay the color on as thick or as little as you wish. And then I'll take this and dry it off, get some more paint medium. Now, let's say you don't want the color to blend as much. You could take a tiny little brush and do the little creases in the leaves. If you didn't want these to run, you could use a smaller brush. But as you see, it's really easy, really, really easy to do this. So is there anything else? And so far as the stem, you could just come right in. That simply. And I just love it. It's like you get a light color, and then after you go over it with the medium, it just comes alive. But the nice thing about this is you can make your own fabric designs. And see, I would come in here and I would add some little grass things, little weeds and little things. And then you can come in and make a little bee. You can make a tiny little bee there. And so, you know, it's your art to do with as you wish. And if you, oops, I got paint on my finger and then got it on the fabric. Oh, well. But anyway, so as you see, you can make a little bee. You can just add, but I love what happens when you put the medium on it and the color just comes alive. That's pretty awesome. So that's Inktense. And remember, it's not just for making new fabric. Let me show you something. Okay. This is my beach landscape, which I was doing pretty good making a video the other day, and then I realized I didn't have the sound on. So all of that work I did was for nothing because I had no sound. So I'm working on fixing that again. But one of the things that I want to show you is, I have been wanting to have reflections. Let me zoom out. Whoops, out. Okay, I've been wanting to show these reflections here at the edge of the water. So let me show you the good thing that Inktense can do for that. So you've got your fabric here, and I couldn't find the exact proper fabric. So what I do is then I put this in, and I just color what I see on right here. But see how I bring this up like this? And then it continues this way. Because this is what was hard for me to do, is how do I add some of that reflected sun? Okay, now let me get my gel medium. Now see if you don't notice that reflective sun just all of a sudden pop up. So what I just had is a light blue fabric now has the reflected sun right down here on my quilt. And as long as it's wet and hasn't been heat set, you can keep playing with it to thin it out a little more, to make it a little more a wispy little reflection. So you see what I've got now, hon? So now where I was disappointed and wanted to see some of that the reflection continues on even up into here. So all I have to do is use my Inktense and I will get that reflection wherever I need it to be. So then I just come back in here now again with a little bit more gel medium. Now right there, it's a little too bright. So before it dries, I'm going to take some of this off. See how you can rub it off before it dries? So if it's too heavy in one area, just wipe it good. And then come back in with a little more gel medium. And swish it around. But that's why I didn't have to worry about having any fabric with yellow right down here to show that. All right, and then I'm going to take and wipe off any excess because I just want a little wispiness of it. And when it dries, it'll even be lighter. But now you can see how I've got the reflection down onto the water. So that is the beauty of Inktense. Anywhere I need a little extra shading, like, okay, I'll give you another example. I have black and gray, but the gray, the water line where the sand is wet, it'll get a little, it's not a sharp line. The water is the sand is a little bit wet all the way up into here. So then when I get my medium on this, there we go. Now, do you see the shadows I've got? It just brings in a depth to the color. And I love that. That is just phenomenal. And once the medium is on there, then I can come back in and do a little bit more if I wish. And then a lot of times I'll rub the excess off because sometimes I can be a little heavy-handed. But you can do it before it dries and is heat set. So do you see how it adds? It adds to the whole look. So I thought I would show you that's the benefit. But now where this was just blue, now without heavy fabric, you can give that reflection. And in fact, to make it look a little touch better, I'll just lightly come in here with a touch of orange. Very lightly, because this is wet now. And I don't want it to show up too much. But okay, come back in with my brush. And now it's got just a hint of the orange from the reflection of the sun. And I love what it did to the sand line. I can even smooth that out even more. But I love that it brought that, because there's never a bold line in nature. There's a bold line where a house meets the horizon, but in nature, it's never that bold. But now I have just a softer edge along the wet sand line. So that is a little Inktense tutorial today. And I hope it'll give you some ideas of what the Inktense product can do for your art. And it's fun. It's like adult coloring. And what fun. Let me see. Whoops. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions? And remember, it's Inktense by Derwent. And you have to get the fabric dye Inktense because they have paper, pencils, things like that. But what you want is the ink for fabric dyeing. And and if you were to start with this, because these aren't cheap, but they last a long time. Don't let the kids mess with them. Fabric only, guys. where you might want to get the bars or the cubes or blocks. They call it ink blocks. This is if you're going to do a lot of the painting. These are good for backgrounds. So that is, it just gives you more fill in, more for painting, where the other you can kind of color. Now I wanted to show you that I use whatever brushes can be used with water-based paint. And then there's this thing called, and I used it with water in it, but you could put the gel medium in this. And what this is, let me see if I can show it. It is a paintbrush with a water or medium reservoir. Now, I would imagine it'd be tough to fill that with medium. You might want to get a syringe without a needle. And then, so it has a brush tip. So put your medium in that. Hold on. Put your medium in that, and then put this on, the brush tip on. I'm having a hard time with it. But then when you've got your medium in there and your brush tip, then you don't have to keep dipping your brush in. But make sure to have clean water to always clean your brushes, because my gel medium I got off of Amazon. And what I had to do is look and look and look to find it. Under art supplies, it's Chromacryl by Chromacryl. And I got it in the 16.9 ounce container. It's so much cheaper if you buy it in the bigger container. If you buy a little tiny one, and these little artistic, you can put the put the medium in there, and these I think I found on Amazon too, also, And I used them with water the first time, and that's just when, oh my gosh. Now, the only problem about putting the medium in here is when you're holding it, you're liable to squeeze it and get more medium than you thought you wanted on the work. But there's just so many fun things to play with. So I'm trying to get this in here. But anyway, brushes, water, and I saved little cups. This came off of the Tide bottle. And I use these. These are wonderful for painting and medium. And I forget where I got this thing that right now has the medium in it. But be careful that try not to contaminate your medium, because you will understand. Always get used to, after you brush it onto the fabric, into the ink dyes, put it directly in water. Keep paper towels handy. Wipe the water off before you dip it back in the medium. Keeping it clean, because you will muddy your colors. Do you know that a mixture of colors equals brown? And brown's not our favorite color for artwork. So keep your things tidy and neat. You will be much happier with your work. Okay. Oh, she got off of her stand, came on the floor, couldn't figure out how to get up on me, so she was climbing up the knobs of the ironing board dresser to try to get to me. So I know. She's a mess. So, okay. All right, let me see. So I've shown you how to get your artwork and how easy all that is. And, think about this. Think about getting your kids a t-shirt. You can get them for a couple dollars from a craft store. Putting a hand towel on a piece of cardboard in between the middle of the t-shirt and letting your kids write their names, draw something, put the date. This summer would be a great memento for them of the summer. So these new fabric inks make that stuff easy. You can even find quilt fabric at quilt stores that is just the outline of a cartoon or design that the kids can color them in, and it will become permanent. So that's kind of neat. I really do like them. And all right. So I showed you my beach landscape. I'm going to sit here today when we say goodbye and redo. I've got the video ready to go. I just need sound. So I will redo that and then I'll put this video out. So, all right. Well, what else is going on with you guys? You have any questions or tell me something neat you're working on yourself? I would love to know. Okay, let's see. Yeah, she's hiding under my hair a little bit now. So she does. She loves when I get this excited. So she just wants to be as close to me as possible. She doesn't want to miss the party. Might be something good. Her favorite things, last night after we trimmed her wings, I wanted to have some of her favorite foods there. So I had a grape, a blueberry, and a red pepper. She loves red peppers, and they're very good for her. So, yeah, she's just excited. Oh, I love y'all too. I love y'all. But I wanted to make sure that I had her favorite things so that when she had to, because she squawked in that hand towel. She was like, I don't like this. I don't know what you're doing, but I don't like this. But we gave her special treats. And then she was like, okay. So, what are y'all working on? Anything going on with y'all? Oh, the decision, Kathleen, the decision for Friday is at 7 p.m. Friday. And we'll meet and talk. And I'll try to find something fun since it's an unusual night. And Friday around here is usually fast food Friday. It's like, okay, I'm tired of being good and cooking. What can we have that's not, nasty bad? We had pizza this time and it was delicious. It was Domino's, Brooklyn crust or whatever. And Mark said, tonight, can we splurge and have our own pizza so I can put all my olives and stuff on it? I said, sure. And so I had mushrooms, pepperoni, light sauce, and he had like 5 things, onions and olives and Italian sausage. And but he was so cute. He was like a kid. It came up to only $19, which is not bad for 2 large pizzas. And I had 4 slices, girlfriends. I was hungry. I hadn't eaten that day, and I only had some grapes, so I was very hungry. So you're organizing your area. Good job doing that. You always held your bird backwards. Gotcha. Yeah, I followed that veterinarian, and I did just what she told me to do because I didn't want to cut her feet off. Yeah, Susan's something else, isn't she? In fact, can we give a shout out to the moderators? We all sit here and have fun, but they're working every time we do a live stream, protecting us and giving out email addresses and all of that, guys. Kathleen Ziegler, I'm so proud of you for getting your sewing area organized. You will be so happy. Ooh, a bighorn sheep wall quilt for a friend. Oh my God, I'd love to see that. I bet you it's beautiful. Oh, making Akko hungry. Oh, Akko, is that a rooster on your avatar? I can't really see it good. They're very tiny. Chicken, pineapple, and bacon. Oh my goodness, Susan. Mark hates pineapple, and the thought of cooked pineapple makes him nutty. Yeah, thank you to our wonderful moderators. And Jamie, we have missed you. We have really missed you. It's so nice having you back. I love having these young things here. They give energy to us. Oh, but I bet you it's beautiful, Anne. I want to make a wool sheep ram for my wall quilt for my daughter. So that's one of my hopes. It is a rooster, Akko. I love it. I love it. So yeah, I'm going to try to clean up my long arm and time it. I've got some good YouTube video on how to do that. And then, yeah, I have to, my crust, ever since I was pregnant with my 3rd child, I got so sick eating pizza that pizza's been a hard thing for me, even this 33 years later. And so I found that Domino's Brooklyn style or whatever, it's a very thin crust. I can eat that. So, oh, I'm so glad you're here, Jamie. And don't forget to check in on Jamie's craft site. I mean, I love crafting almost as much as I love quilting. And she's, she is the gal for crafting. Well, just take a picture and Miss Ann, take a picture. Oh, he's paying you. That's wonderful. Oh, I remember the other week I told Nikki I would send her the cute little fabric bowl and the pink metallic ribbons. I did. I know I said I would wait until I sent her mom something, but I couldn't wait. I wanted my Nikki to have that. Well, Ann, our hat is off to you. I am thrilled. Good for you for doing a quilt for money. People don't realize, I sometimes now have to tell people when I give them a quilt how expensive quilts are, because my son had no idea. He thought I was just taking some cute little fabric and putting it together. And when you tell them you spend at least $100 on fabric, they're like, oh, that's a work of art. Oh, that's nice, Patty. Placemats for your granddaughter. Is it the Kinsey granddaughter or is it another one? That is so nice. That is so nice. I love giving gifts. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to show you a picture of the next. See. And my grandson got his immunizations, and he cried a little bit right when he had them. Later, he was fine. But it's so important with the measles spreading. And some people aren't able to get measles immunizations due to their health. And we need to protect them. We need to protect everyone. Did you know that if you got a case of the measles, it can cause serious complications down the road? It's not just some cute little disease. All right, now let me see. I got to find the landscape quilt that we're going to work on. Hold on. Oh boy. I will have to find it and show it to you. I can't see it right away. But, oh man, it was the coolest thing. And I put it in an envelope, I put it somewhere. But I want to do a mountain landscape coming up, and then I want to do this next one first. Oh, poo. I can't find it. Next landscape. I just found it. All right. Are you ready to see what I want to do for the very next one? Come on. Come up. I was watching Swamp People, and I saw the scene, and I said, that's the inspiration for the next. All right. Are you ready? Look at that. I said, oh my gosh. And believe it or not, ladies, it's going to be easier than the one we've been working on now. So that's going to be the inspiration. And talk about thread work. I'm going to do some couching on this one with gray thread to look like the Spanish moss that's hanging down. That's going to be so much fun because I love embellishing quilts. To me, that is, oh my God, that's the best. That is the best. Kiwi, you playing with my hair? So what's this one? Is that? That's great. That's great. Yeah, I think it's going to be so pretty. So I'm very excited, looking forward to doing that one. And you can do whatever one you want, but I like to pick something I really like that I'm inspired by to show you, because these quilts that I do, I'm going to treasure them and love them. Oh, shoot. We have a few minutes. Let me show you the quilt of the day. Are there enough people who want to see the quilt of the day? So I totally forgot about quilt of the day. All right. Oops. Okay. Come here. I know. Okay. You stay over there, sweetie. All right. Here we go. The people that left already will miss a very bright quilt. Look at this, guys. What this is a quilt that was a block of the month at a local shop. And it has, let me move the camera back a little. It has, hold on. Yeah, it's all the way out. Okay. All right. It was from a block of the month, gray background, and had these solids. I'm the one who thought this fabric was just perfect for it. Makes it a little busy, but it is colorful, and it kept me interested. I get bored if things get a little too whatever, but we did each block 1 month at a time. And it was a lot of fun because you got to decide where the colors went, how you wanted to use them. And so this also has not been quilted. But if I end up getting, oh, take care, sweetie. Nice seeing you, Busy Pat. It was great today. But hopefully I will get that on the frame soon, especially if Diana Wright has been giving me hints and tips and go look at this, and Jamie Wallen, who not only Diana Wright has great respect for, but Melissa. In fact, I need to write Melissa and see how she's doing. I assume she's going nuts on that quilt frame. But she took classes from Jamie Wallen, and he is amazing. He has, I look at him, he teaches how to oil your hook and all these things that other people kind of forget to tell you. So if you have a chance, check him out. So, all right. Well, now you get to see this quilt. I haven't decided what I'm going to quilt it with. Probably gray thread, because I don't think I need to add any busyness to it. Usually when I quilt something that's this geometric, I'll probably do an all-over design of something big sloppy flowers, something big and loose. And in fact, let me see if I can draw. My favorite big sloppy flower is, I come around like this and then do petal, 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 petal up to here, and then come back and echo it. Echo, 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 then off to the next one, and then petal, 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 then echo, 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 and that's probably what I'll do. So that is simple. And I always remember it. So that's the nice thing. All right. Anything else anybody would like to say? It was so nice seeing, thank you, Susan. And it was so nice seeing Busy Pat today, and Jamie and everybody. But we'll see you next time on Friday night, 7:00, and we'll have our live stream, because Sunday I'm not going to be able to do one. And poor Mark is still on top of that motorhome. I'm lucky, you know. I'm lucky. So we live in on a very wooded lot. Everything, the pollen, the sap. But okay. Oh, thank you. We try to be a real safe, sweet place because you know what? There are so many wonderful things out in this world. There's so much to be grateful for, so much to enjoy, and we need to celebrate it. And sometimes if you watch the news, it's too scary. So let's just have fun. And it's a wonderful life. And we all are lucky to have found each other. Thank you so much for saying that, Miss Jamie. All right. You take care. And the stripes at work, yeah, a lot of stripes. But y'all take good care of yourself. And remember, you have to take care of you before you can take care of others. And how many of us end up taking care of so many? But do something special for yourself. Do something special. And because this is the only life we get. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is the real thing. And I want you to take good care of yourself and have a great week. Do something special just for you. So good seeing my Sonia. And you know she's going to get that Jenny Buyer next step, and she's going to, whiz past me like nothing. Akko, make sure this is your last week if you have any other pieces left to do, because Jenny Buyer is going to hopefully come out next Saturday. So y'all take good care. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much. Have a good week. Bye, you guys. Bye. You are the best. Take care.